The UK's Foreign Secretary James Cleverly announced new powers to issue sanctions against Iran, blaming Iran for attempting to kill British and UK-based individuals on 15 different occasions since the start of 2022, and, he said, for harassing the families of those individuals targeted back in Iran. The government expects to bring in the necessary new legislation to Parliament later in the year, and it's also listed 13 individuals and entities responsible for human rights abuses, and that includes prison governors overseeing torture and inhumane treatment, organisations charged with collecting private information of regime opponents, and individuals leading the repression of women through Iran's compulsory hijab laws. Those new measures will give the UK greater powers to target decision makers in Iran for hostile activities in the UK, but also around the world. And the Home Office says that the new sanctions designations will be announced on individuals and organisations who are responsible generally for human rights violations in Iran itself. And the announcement comes, as you said, as the UK is driving international condemnation of Iran's behaviour at the UN Human Rights Council and at the UN Security Council this week.
Now, there's no doubt that Israel would be happy with Britain's renewed push against Iran, but does that mean perhaps Jerusalem could turn to London for convincing or backing regarding any short-term or fully endorsed Iran nuclear deal?
Well, certainly I think there is close discussion between the UK and Israel. Not that long ago, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak did meet with Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, and the UK is all too aware of the threat from Iran anyway, independently of Israel. Previously, Iran's attempted a bombing in France in 2018, 2 assassinations in the Netherlands, and an unsuccessful assassination plot in Denmark, all things that the Foreign Secretary and the Foreign Office point to now in taking these actions. The Iranian intelligence services have developed close relationships with organised criminal gangs in the UK as well and across Europe, and expanded the capability of its networks in that way. So these new measures will significantly expand the UK's sanction powers by creating new criteria under which individuals and entities can be sanctioned. And those include the Iranian regime's activities undermining peace, stability and security in the Middle East and internationally, and the use and spread of weapons or weapon technologies from Iran. So, for example, the Iranian regime is undermining democracy, Britain says, and the respect for the rule of law, but also is spreading weapons against the rules, the internationally accepted rules, both to the Houthis in Yemen and also to the Russians for use in the war in Ukraine. These are all things that Britain feels strongly about independently of Israel. So certainly I think Israel can look towards Britain in this sense as an ally in trying to put more pressure on the Iranian regime.